So you've fallen in love with the new Skoda Karoq, but you just can't digest that massive price tag. But what if I told you can get the exact same car with possibly better looks and a better interior for almost 5 lakhs cheaper? This is the new T-Roc from Volkswagen, and well, it looks absolutely stunning in this yellow color. So let's talk about the design first, and let's start from the front. You get these very Passat-esque lights over here, and the DRLs are over here with a pentagonal shape. You get a gigantic grille over here with a chrome strip running along the whole front of the car. And of course, you get your openings for the radiator and everything over here. And in my opinion, this is a really nice looking car. So when you come down to the side of the T-Roc, you can see the classic Volkswagen design language with hard lines, cuts and edges everywhere. Just look at this one line. It starts here at the front fender and goes all the way across to the back door. Also, you get these really nice looking 17-inch rims over here with the brake calipers painted silver behind them. And since this is the T-Roc and it's supposed to be a coupe, you get a sloping roofline down here at the end, and it makes it look really sporty. And also, since it's a sporty SUV, you get a black roof and a sunroof also. So when you come down to the back end, there are a few things that I don't like particularly. First of all, fake vents and a fake exhaust tip kind of vibe. That's not my thing. But when you just go afar and look at it from afar, you really appreciate the design because it's so minimalistic, it's so simple, yet it looks so good. You have this little T-Roc badge over here, and the lights are also pretty simple, but they have these hard edges and sharp creases everywhere. And since it's still the sporty SUV, the sloping roofline continues over here, and you get this really nice looking back end. So under this rather boring looking engine cover, you have the 1.5 TSI, which is of course from the new wave of TSI engines which are meant to be BS6 compliant. It makes a modest 150 bhp and 250 Nm of torque, which is decent at this price because the Karoq is priced almost 5 lakhs more expensive. And yeah, it's a great engine, no problem at all. And it's of course made it to the same DQ200 gearbox which is in the Karoq and also the GT TSI last generation. So pretty decent engine. I find this interior a little bit better than the one in the Karoq because everything's a bit more driver oriented. This screen over here is a bit tilted towards you, and even these dials over here, they're a bit more sportier. So that's something that I really like. And you have this big aluminum-esque piece over here which goes along the dash. Now in international models, this can be chosen to be body colored, like for example this car is yellow, so this can also be yellow, but I don't think that's an option in India. You get a lot of cubby holes. You get big bottle holders over here, space to keep your phone over here, and of course the armrest opens up to keep more stuff over here. The interior is pretty standard Volkswagen. You get the standard VW steering wheel with the paddle shifters. The digital cluster which is up over here, it's pretty similar to the one which is in the 40 lakh rupee Tiguan Allspace, so that's a really good feature. You have your standard DSG shifter over here, mated to the DQ200 gearbox. All of your AC controls are laid down over here, and this ginormous infotainment screen over here which has all of the connectivity in the world. Now I know a lot of people were concerned about how spacious it was here at the back seats in the T-Roc. Well, it's not a problem at all. You have these little humps in the roof for more headroom, and knee room, leg room, everything is just fine. Not a problem at all. The seats are very nicely bolstered, so when you're going around corners, you're not floating around here and there mid corner. You get these grab handles over here, so just to chill out a little bit. An interesting fact about the T-Roc is that the front door trim and the back door trim is actually different. So you get these little nice hexagonal, pentagonal, whatever you want to say, designs up here which have a texture effect to it, whereas over here in the front it's completely different. It's like an aluminum kind of effect. You get a massive panoramic sunroof to reduce the claustrophobia, and also AC vents to keep you cool over here. Now let's talk about the boot. It opens up like a polo, so you have to grab on it and it goes up, and this is 445 liters of boot space. Now I know it doesn't look like that, but it actually is, because if you look at this, when you pull it down, you actually have a hump over here. So when you're loading stuff into it, you have to actually be quite cautious on where you put it. But 445 liters of boot space, more than enough for any sort of family. But now, since all of this boring stuff is out of the way, let's go into the driver's seat and see how this thing actually drives.
The T-Roc, just like any other VW product, is a super easy car to drive, very comfortable, the engine is very refined, and the ride is also very comfortable.
The 1.5 TSI makes minimal amount of noises, and you have radars and sensors and cameras all around the car, so you don't bump into anyone while driving. Now this engine comes with a really trick system called ACT, or active cylinder technology, which is basically cylinder deactivation. So when you're not needing two cylinders, the car actually shuts off two and increases the fuel efficiency. It also has start and stop function, which increases fuel efficiency a little bit more, and of course the turbo also helps increase the efficiency by a little bit. The digital cluster up ahead just makes a world of difference while driving. It looks so nice, and the little blue accents and the red accents, everything just makes it look so vibrant, and the graphics are also really spot on. You have no problem in reading the graphics, unlike whereas the new Hyundai Verna also has a digital dash, half of the time you can't see the dash, so this does not have that problem at all. But of course, my favorite part about this car has to be that it has paddle shifters, and like, I know it's unnecessary in a car like this, but come on, it's so fun to roll down the gears on your own. And when it comes to overtaking power and pulling power, this engine has no problem at all. The turbo kicks in at around 3000 RPM, and after that you're just gone. 250 Newton meters of torque just hurl you towards the horizon.
Now my final thoughts on the T-Roc is that if you're looking to buy a car in that sort of segment, around 20 lakh rupees, do not discount the T-Roc. It is one of the best cars I've driven all year, and I think so for the price tag it has, which is 19.99 lakh rupees ex-showroom, it's one of the best deals for an SUV currently. It goes against cars like the Seltos, the Hector, the Harrier and other competitors. And when it comes to that, you're getting Volkswagen build quality, refined engines and lots of power. So if you're looking to buy an SUV in that sort of price range, please go for the T-Roc.